hurtful word, a bad health diagnosis, the question that is often thought of, if not outwardly spoken, is, where was God in the midst of all this, all that? Where is God? I think this is a question that surrounds us in this journey of life throughout all the phases of our life. When tragedy strikes, there are thoughts from some like, God, stop protecting the victims because either they or their family and loved ones did wrong, did deep wrong against God, and God was punishing them, while at the same time warning the rest of us that if we continue in that same behavior as those people, we become the next victims. The belief about why tragedy occurs, that belief that ultimately points to the character of God, that doesn't sit well with me. And I know it doesn't with some of you. I think it's an overly simple answer for a very complicated question. Ultimately, what it comes down to, for me, is that I can't picture a God who picks and chooses whom he protects. I can't believe in a God who uses some of his beloved children that he breathed a breath of life into as pawns and subjects of lessons in order to prove a certain point to the rest of us. I just give the heebie-jeebies and just thinking about that. I think we would be equally mistaken if we believe that because we are followers of Christ and believe in God, that we are extra protected from the not so pleasant parts of life. There's an invisible bubble around us that prevents harm from coming into our lives. Belief in God, becoming a Christian, doesn't give us an extra layer of protection that others don't have. This extra level of protection where we think that they should not happen to us ever in life. It's not really a guarantee that God gives us. However, what God does promise is that God will always be present in our lives. It is because we believe, it is because we are followers of Christ that when we feel hurt, we are able to see meaning and life beyond hurt. We do not believe that God has left us. Instead, we are confident that God is right here in the midst of the mess and chaos and turmoil that we are experiencing. And somehow, some way, with God, it makes whatever we are experiencing a little more bearable. And perhaps that is exactly why this hymn is a favorite of many. Throughout his words, we are reassured that God is protecting us, guarding us, and present with us. We have a God who will never leave us alone. We have a God who is present in our lives from our first day all the way up into our lives, and even beyond that. And that's the means behind this hymn. And that's probably why On Eagles and Wings is a funeral song as it seeks to comfort those who hurt. And it gives us confidence that when all seems lost, it is not. Because God is by our side. And the whole church said,